Namaskar. Today we'll be discussing about right to equality, a very important topic which comes under fundamental rights of Indian Constitution. So we all must have heard about fundamental rights. Many of us we are familiar with the provisions of fundamental rights, but my experience says that many of us are not clearly aware. Now we'll proceed to understand what is fundamental rights. What are those fundamental rights? There are 6 fundamental rights currently. Originally, there were 7 fundamental rights. Right to property was also one of the fundamental rights. But in 1978, according to 44th Constitutional Amendment, right to property was removed from the list of fundamental rights, and currently it is a legal right. So now we have 6 fundamental rights. Now let's understand what is fundamental rights, okay, and what are its significance. Now the fundamental rights are included in Part 3 of Indian Constitution that we all know. And we are aware that the framers of Indian Constitution, they have derived various concepts of our Constitution from different sources, okay? And this fundamental rights, the concept of fundamental rights was derived from the Constitution of the USA, okay? In USA, there's a provision of Bill of Rights, and from that Bill of Rights, the idea of or the concept of fundamental rights are derived by our constitutional makers. Now, second point is that fundamental rights are guaranteed by the Constitution to all the people, to all the citizens, and without any discrimination. That is more important. And next question may come that why these particular 6 rights are named as fundamental rights. The answer is because they are guaranteed and they are protected by the Constitution, and the Constitution is the fundamental law of the land. So as the fundamental law of the land protects these rights, they are known as fundamental rights. Next, they protect the interests of the minorities and weaker sections of the society. How? Because now when we discuss right to equality in detail, you will understand that there are some provisions which are dedicated for the weaker section of the society. And also, if you look at Fundamental Rights 4 and Fundamental Rights 5th, then you will see that it is dedicated to the minority community of our country. Okay. Next point, the fundamental rights strengthen the secular fabric of Indian state. That is, again, Fundamental Right 4, right to freedom of religion, from Article 25 to 28, right? Next one is that they check the absoluteness of the authority of the government. Again, we can say that they lay down the foundational stone of social equality and social justice. The fundamental rights ensure the dignity and respect of individuals, and more importantly, they facilitate the participation of people in the political and administrative process. Now we'll discuss about right to equality. That is our topic of discussion. Right to equality is the first fundamental right, and it is provided under Article 14 to 18. Okay. In the slide you have seen that there are people, there are citizens, but their status is not same. Someone is from different religion, their color is different, their gender is different, someone is physically disabled, but for all, the Constitution has provided equal status. Okay, but when we talk about right to equality, equality for all is not on merely the meaning of this right. Okay, right to equality has 5 provisions. Okay, Article 14, Article 15, Article 16, Article 17 and Article 18. Total 5 provisions, and it is very important for us to understand all the rights. First one, Article 14. It says equality before law and equal protection of law. Now, what is the meaning of this? Article 14 contains two very important aspects. What are those important aspects? First one, equality before law, and the second one, equal protection of law. And both of them play very important part of a basic human rights. Under Article 14, the concept of rule of law has been adopted, under which no person can be said to be above the law, and every person has to abide by the provisions of law. Next, Article 15. Article 15 says provision of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Now it means that everyone is equal. Okay, there should not be any discrimination on the basis of religion, on the basis of race, caste, their gender or place of birth. Okay, the two pictures that is in the slide says the same thing. Okay, but apart from this, I would like to refer here one movie, Bollywood movie, that is Article 15. You must have heard, that was a popular movie by Ayushmann Khurrana. Okay, that movie is, the name says that movie is based on Article 15, and very nicely and very clearly it has shown the differences or the discriminations that is there in our social structure on the basis of caste. In this movie, they concentrated on caste, okay, the lower caste and upper caste discrimination. But Article 15 says that no discrimination should be on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Now Article 16, it says equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Okay, I would like to read it out. राज्य के अधीन किसी पद पर नियोजन या नियुक्ति से संबंधित विषयों में सभी नागरिकों के लिए अवसर का समानता होगी. So it says that there shall be equal opportunity for all citizens in matters relating to employment or appointment to any office under the state. Okay, so in this context we can refer to the reservation policy in the employment of reservation policy of OBCs and ST/SC in the appointment or employment, right? Next, Article 17, it says abolition of untouchability and prohibition of its practice. So, in the slide, you have seen two pictures. The first picture is the cover page of the book Untouchability in Ancient India, written by U.R. Lokhande. I have taken the picture from Amazon. Then the second page, you can see that the untouchability practice is going on and it shows that it is wrong, right? So Article 17 of Indian Constitution prohibits the practice of untouchability. Now in India, the Constitution of India has not provided the meaning, the literal meaning of untouchability, okay, or the dictionary meaning of untouchability. It refers to the ancient practice which had developed historically in our country. Means some people are considered as impure, that we cannot touch them, they cannot socialize, they cannot take part in religious activities because they have taken part in some particular classes or in some particular caste, or they are engaged in some particular job. So Article 17 says that all this system or this practice should be removed or cannot be practiced. Here I would like to refer another Bollywood movie, that is Lagan, which was released in 2001 and produced by Amir Khan. He also played the leading role. We all know that the entire movie was very emotional for Indian people, Indian citizen. But one particular scene that touched my heart. Okay, so in that scene, the character Kachra, he belonged to the lower caste. Okay, so and he was not allowed to socialize with the rest of the villagers. He was not allowed to take part in the cricket. And in that movie, it is very beautifully shown that how Amir Khan had convinced the rest of the people, the villagers, that why we should not entertain this practice of upper class and lower class. Why the untouchability, the practice of untouchability should be removed from our society. Please have a look.
दूध पर छूत अछूत की छाप लगे के दूध तो आप ब्रश कर रहे हो। सारे गांव की सांस ही छूत अछूत के धुएं से काहे घोट रहे मुखिया जी? चमड़ी के नाम पे मन को छलना कौन नेक काम है का? फिर काहे पूछते राम जी को, जिनने सबरी के झूठे बेर खाए? जो भगवान सबकी नैया पार लगावत है, वो की नैया एक छोटे जाति के नाविक ने पार लगाई। ये सब जानने के बाद भी छूत अछूत की बात करे हो? और आप ही सर काका, आप तो वैद्य हो, पीड़ा हरते हो, रोगी की नाड़ी परख के उसका इलाज करते हो। क्या आपका शास्त्र यही कहता है कि अछूत का इलाज ना किया जाए, उसको मरने दिया जाए? अगर ऐसा है तो ये इंसानियत के नाम पे सबसे बड़ा कलंक होएगा।
In reference of Article 17, I have found one more clip on YouTube. Please have a look.
तमर स्कूल ने केते पिला पढुछन?
107 जना।
तमे तमर हॉस्टल न केते पिला पढि जो छ?
50 जना।
तमर हॉस्टल न सब तम का पिला माने रहू छ?
दलित पिला माने सब रहू छ।
तो तम तम स्कूल न दुपहर खास?
हां।
तो तमके सबके गुटे ठाना बसे कर खाबा के दसन की केनता?
हमके दलित पिला के समस्त अलगा खाइबा का जे दसनता पर सेवान कर गांटा सब लोग अलगा बसी कर खासन हमके जाति रखना सब।
The fifth provision of right to equality, that is Article 18, which says abolition of titles except military and academic. It has again 4 provisions, right? So number 1, it prohibits the state from conferring any title or anybody, whether a citizen or a foreigner. But there's an exception here. If it's a military title, for example, colonel, major, then we can say lieutenant colonel, all these are okay, fine, they are considered as titles. And also the academic distinction, for example, like doctor, that we say, for example, Dr. XYZ Borua, Dr. XYZ Datta, etc. are permitted. Next provision, point number B, that it prohibits a citizen of India from accepting any title from any foreign state. Provision C, a foreigner holding any office or profit or trust under the state cannot accept any title from any foreign state without the consent of the President of India. Number D, no citizen or foreigner holding any office of profit or trust under the state is to accept any present or office from or under any foreign state without the consent of the President of India. So now it is understood that the hereditary titles of nobility like Maharaja, Raj Bahadur, Rai Bahadur, Raja Sahib, for example, Diwan, Bahadur, etc., which were conferred by the colonial states that are banned by Article 18, as these are against the principle of equality. But at the same time, the titles like Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, then Padma Shri, these rights are permitted because these are based on merit. So this again, Article 18, it's refuse any type of aspect which is again right to equality. I hope you have understood the right to equality. So in the next class, we'll be discussing about right to freedom. Thank you so much.